Hello once again and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host Prince Magnum and welcome to Do It Yourself Budget Hot Rodding live and uncut. Alright, now I'm sure a lot of you have probably been wondering, how did the car show go, Prince Magnum? How did Project Spirit and Project Lena do? Well, we're going to talk about that. First things first, let's start with the co-star of the Prince Magnum channel, Project Lena. Now, Princess Faye worked her tail end off. You could see the pinstriping work that she had done right through here, and did an amazing job. And it goes down through the side, and looks absolutely stunning. I mean, it'd be a little hard to see because it's starting to get dark, but you can see how it just comes right through here and follows all the way down. And she's got some other ideas to go along with that. So the paw prints are gone. Okay. Under the hood, really unchanged, other than just a lot of cleanup that was done. But if I can get my lovely wife to come over, you can see the seat covers and the theme that was going on here turned out absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Um, she was in a class where there was a lot of Mustangs, so the Mustangs pretty well took it. It's just one of those things. Um, a lot of car shows, you'll it, Mustangs are usually in their own category, and why that wasn't the case here, I don't know. It's not uncommon that at car shows there Mustangs will be in a category and Camaros will be in a category, but that isn't what happened here. But that's just one of those things. So Project Lena did not place for her first car show, which that happens. Okay, and like I said, a lot of work went into her. We had to get a lot of the blue paint off, and that took what, a total of like 3-4 days.
I think it was only three.
Only three? Okay. But it took a good little bit, and there was a lot of cleaning. So we actually had been working total on both cars for like 2 weeks straight. So Project Lena went through a lot of changes, and between the two of us, it was a lot of work went into her, and that's what probably upsets me the most is because Princess Faye worked her butt off. And like I said, the pinstriping was phenomenal. She did an amazing job. And, again, it's just, you know, it, I never could get the line tape pinstriping to work. I could never do it, but it would figure my wife is the one who could get it to work. But I mean, the hood just stood out. So it was like part of the day the hood was up, part of the day the hood was down, uh, because it was one of those things, you know. But she did turn a lot of heads, but that's just one of those things. Now the, you know, the main attraction of the two cars, Project Spirit did pretty well take center stage. Everybody who came up, they would look at Lena, but then they really quickly would gravitate over here. And y'all didn't get to see the changes, and I wanted to show you on live stream, but it was hard to do, and so you guys really didn't get to see the work happening. We just had to do it, and figured we'd show you afterwards. But as usual, we had to get her pressed and dressed. Boy, that valve cover really just popped. I mean, if you can get a good look at that, and we'll even take the air cleaner off so you can see exactly what we're talking about. Princess Faye and I put a lot of time into this. A lot of sanding, a lot of cleaning and everything. But you can really just see right through here. Princess Faye did the embossing, and then we cleared it. But myself personally, I mean, I put in probably about 4 hours worth of work just getting this valve cover cleaned up for show. And as usual, I was in a different class altogether because Project Spirit, being older, was in the Street Machines class from 73 to 89. I was in a class with a lot of Mopars, a lot of Mopar hot rods, and believe it or not, I mean, for the most part, I held my own, I guess you could say, well enough. But we'll talk about that here in a second. How well did I do? Well, considering it was pretty much an entire car club full of Mopars that were really just decked out. Well, third place isn't too terribly bad. Project Spirit brought home third place in her class. We're very proud of that. Very proud of that. We did a live stream on a lot of the stuff that was changing on the inside, so it was really no sense in going back through it. You're welcome to look at that video. It is uploaded to YouTube. But that is Project Spirit's 4th trophy. So she's been to 7 car shows, and in those 7 car shows, she's brought home 4 trophies. That's not too terribly bad. Luckily for me, the class from the 1970s street machine classes, or usually what the class that she ends up in, there's not a whole lot of competition, so I usually do pretty good. But there was 4 of them that I went up against. Well, there's 4 in my class, and that includes Spirit. And that being said, being that there was 4 total in her class, the 3 that I was up against, if you will, they were trailer queen cars that were pretending they weren't. And this is kind of a dirty thing. So if you're guilty of this, you know, they're your cars that up to you. You know what purpose it serves. But if you will, these guys basically went across town to the Fredericktown Walmart with their cars on trailers, and then they pulled them off the trailers, and then they drove them to the car show. There was another gentleman, he brought in this beautiful looking 1-ton Studebaker from out of the 50s, and he drove it in on a flatbed, pulled it off, and pulled it into its spot. Okay, he made no bones about the fact that it was, you know, that he was a trailer queen. The other ones lied about it, you know, pretended they weren't. It's dirty, it's wrong, and I mean, to me, that's just kind of, you know, if you're going to pretend, you know, don't pretend. Be honest about it. If it's a trailer queen, fine. You know, if it's not, fine. But don't pretend like it's not, you know, you get what I'm saying. And there was evidently quite a bit of that going on. So that's kind of dirty. It's, you know, just like you get cheaters in drag racing or any racing, that's your cheaters at car shows. So, you know, you will get that from time to time. So Project Spirit was actually battling, I guess you could say, for her trophy against vehicles like that, because the 3 that she was up against, they were pretending they weren't trailer queens. So, and some people will have opinions on that, but that's, you know, my personal opinion. You know, if it's a trailer queen, be honest, but if it's not, be honest, you know. So we dealt with that. So again, Project Lena was edged out by nothing but Mustangs in her class, which I personally, I mean, again, I think that Mustangs should have their own class, Camaros should have their own class. And, but they didn't have their own class. And a lot of car shows do that, but they didn't do that this time. And I know the Azalea Festival car show usually does do that, but they kind of eliminated that class for whatever reason. But she did turn some heads. A lot of people really liked her, of course, Project Spirit. You know, a lot of people kept asking when I was going to repaint her, and I really get aggravated with the, you know, you need to paint her, and then you go like this. Do you see this? Do you see this? This is rust. Okay, this is something that has to be fixed. Okay, you can't just paint over that. The paint doesn't make that go away. and then they look at you like, huh? What? And it's like, it's rust. You have to fix that first. And then they're like, oh, so I guess you have to put body putty over it. Anyhow. Some people do not need to be near cars. Okay. you know, it's one of those things, you know, and I'm getting to that point where I get kind of aggravated when people just say you need to just repaint her. No, you need to do body work first, and then you repaint her. And then they're like, and then you have to explain to them what body work is, and the proper way to do it. And you know, you don't, you have to cut the old, you have to cut the rusty part out, and you should go at least an inch past the rust. Um, you know, to make sure you got it all. You weld in a new piece of metal, and once that piece of metal is welded in, you grind down the welds, then you lay your body putty over it and get it all cleaned up, flush with the body. And then once that's all done, you primer it. And then, you know, once the whole car is done up, where there's no more rust and it's all primered, then you repaint it. That's important to remember. If you skip any of those steps, the rust will come back, and you didn't do anything. So, just one of those things you have to slowly explain this to your non-car people. So, but she did do well enough. I mean, if anything, I mean, Project Spirit had going in her favor the fact that she's never had body work done, and that says plenty right there. Uh, have I got anybody at this point watching? What's the time?
You're at 12 minutes and you have one individual and one like.
Okay, okay. I got a pretty good feeling I know who that is. That's probably Shaggy. Um, so again, folks, you know, if you're watching the playback or whatever, uh, this summer, one way or the other, Project Spirit's Bodywork will be done. So there may be some car shows that we have to skip, but we just want to make sure that we're out of the spring weather because moisture, exposed steel, bad. Okay, we're trying to eliminate the rust. You know, um, you know, it, but in the meantime, we've got a lot of stuff we can do in the meantime. Um, we're looking at picking up kind of a backup engine for Project Spirit because we are looking at either A, when she hits that 45-year marker, going ahead and either doing A, rebuilding the inline six, or B, going ahead and doing the V8 swap. Obviously, also on the agenda is getting the front disc brakes on here. We're still looking for spindle. That's a big issue. We've been struggling with finding those. Got a couple of leads, but nothing concrete. Let's see. Beyond that, I mean, you know, we are going to clean up the engine more to keep her, show ready. Thanks to my sister-in-law, we also picked up an Excel Super Coil. Saying hi to my sister-in-law. And we'll be slapping that on here, improving her gas mileage, getting a little bit more performance out of her. And if all goes well, we'll do a live stream. Now, okay, now that we're beyond that, let's give credit where credit is due. The paint, the paints and a lot of the stuff to keep Project Spirit running. That came from AutoZone. It came from our friends over there at Bonterre Auto. I want to give special thanks to those guys, making sure they keep the parts and the stuff on hand, so we can keep Project Spirit up to show condition. The paint for my floor mats and the paint, the fabric paint that I used on my floor mats, which we'll show that in a later video because it's getting too dark. Believe it or not, that particular paint actually came from our friends at O'Reilly's over in Farmington. While we're on that subject, the pinstriping, the tape pinstriping came from our friends over at O'Reilly's in Farmington. They hooked us up well, and I wanted to give them a special shout out and a big thank you for doing so. To go along with that, the floor mats that is in Project Spirit right now, and the floor mats that are in Project Lena, which we can show those real quick. Believe it or not, our friends over here at Bonterre Dollar General, they hooked us up with some really snazzy looking floor mats A set is in Project Spirit. A set
Oh,
here in Project.
Go ahead and pull them out. They're too dark. Camera can't see it.
Okay. And good, carpeted, and rubberized on the back side. And these little bits dig right into the carpet and hold it in place so it's not just sliding around. Okay, $8, folks. You can't beat that with a stick, okay? The wheel polish for both vehicles came from, believe it or not, again, AutoZone. I get tired of you guys, the people in the car community putting them down. They do provide parts. Again, any of the work that was out of my league on Project Spirit, because I'm still learning a lot. It was done by our friends over there at Bonterre Auto. The cleaning supplies for the windows and getting everything cleaned up on the cars and getting them show ready came, believe it or not, from our friends over at Deloge Dollar Tree. I want to give them a special shout out. They hooked us up with everything we needed, okay? So now that we have given credit where credit is due for the people who provided exactly what we needed to get these things, these cars ready for show, now you know, okay? Again, do it yourself budget hot rodding. Hot rodding that anybody can do, okay? That's what the Prince Magnum channel is all about. Doing cars that that anybody can afford. It doesn't have to blow the doors off of everything, pass everything but a gas station, that sort of stuff. It doesn't have to be like that. You can enjoy the if you will, the beauty academy of car shows, okay? It's a great way to get your artistic nature out, and it's a great way to win trophies, okay? And it's not necessarily all about speed. It's all about, it's all about show, okay? And there's nothing wrong with a show, all right? It's again, car shows kind of like the supermodel runway for the car world, if you prefer it that way. And Project Spirit again turned a lot of heads. She was in a class that it was a tough class because she could have easily been edged out, but she wasn't. Project Lena, unfortunately, I was hoping she'd bring home a trophy for her first time out, but it didn't happen that way. We've got a lot more car shows coming up for this summer. We are going to be very busy. You know, we have not. We've only committed to one. We'll talk more about that in another episode coming up. We did get a lot of footage from the Azalea Festival car show. I will be putting that together, hopefully in another day or two, and we're going to get that posted along with some other videos, that sort of thing. As time goes on, we will talk more about the changes that the cars will be going, because 2018, we are going to make this an epic year for the Prince Magnum channel as far as car shows go. No question about it. We're going to have a good time. All right. All right. Let's see. Have I covered that? Covered that. Also, starting next week, I will be back in competition doing karaoke. I don't think we're going to do that in live stream, but we are going to do it. I have one more episode to load from the last one, but I'm not in a big hurry on it because it wasn't my best, that sort of thing. It's just one of those things. It wasn't my best show, okay? Long story behind that. So, keep posted with the Prince Magnum channel, and you will know everywhere we're going to be and what we're going to be doing. If anybody leaves a comment, and asking questions, be sure to.
I've been watching.
Okay, I figured you were. Okay. Also, we're getting to that spot where we're winding down.
You're at 1935.
Okay, 1935. Thank you. All right, real quick. The Patreon account is up and running, and between basically here's the contest that I'm gonna throw out there. Whoever can donate the most money to my Patreon account, which it's just listed as Prince Magnum, you'll find it. I've got to add some stuff so you'll know definitely that it's me. But whoever can post the most, basically donate the most money between now and What sounds good? August the 7th, which is my birthday. Between now and August the 7th, I will be putting together kind of like a cool care package of the stuff that we pick up from car shows and other things like that. Basically, it's going to be a good sized package. It's going to be a good sized package. So between now and August 7th, whoever is able to donate the most money to the Prince Magnum channel will get a nice little care package. You know, it'll be car stuff, and who knows what else I might throw in there. I've got some Summit Racing stickers, and I've got a couple of Excel, from the Excel Super Coil. You'll be getting those stickers, and whatever else I might be able to throw in there, maybe to help get your project started, whatever the case may be. Who knows? Who knows what I might throw in there? But be sure, if if you're, this is your opportunity to get some stuff that might help you get your project started. Who knows? Or at least maybe inspire somebody else to get a project started. So, just go to my Patreon account. You don't necessarily have to become a monthly subscriber, but any donations is always welcome. All right. So, the objective with that, though, is to hit $1,000 so we can get some other stuff done to both projects. So basically, it's one of those things. I need money to spend some money on the project cars. So, all right. Got a couple videos for Surviving Romance that are coming up. Got to finish those. Mostly narration sort of stuff. And
22 even.
okay. And last but not least, all right, we're at that stage. If you're not subscribed to the Prince Magnum channel, you really should be. You're missing out. This summer is going to be really exciting. It's going to be awesome. You don't want to miss out. So if you don't want to miss out and you're really savvy, you're going to hit the bell icon. You'll be notified every time we upload a brand new video. Also, if you got any positive feedback, leave it in the box below. Always appreciate it. All right? Any hate, you'll get made fun of. Also, last but not least, get out there and work on a project. Don't care what it is, just do something with yourself. Idle hands and a creative mind they make horrible bedfellows. If you have a sweetheart, sweep her off her feet, do something special for her. You might even take her out in one of your project cars. All right? And as always, for every last one of you out there, if no one out there has told you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you, and have a happy 24. Thank you.